Elson, Cerberus, good to see you. Starting in just a moment. Axe, I think you have privileges to post in the announcements channel on my Discord. Go post something.
Sure.
Hello, Chip. You enjoyed the task last time. I'm very glad because I spent an unreasonable amount of time working on that thing. Okay. My file set up. Level 32. That must have been the Brave Man run. Oh, actually, no. Wait, we are really lots of lore, as is tradition. Okay. Zell, you ready for a countdown on the timer? Alright. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Ultima Zero, FB Heron. Hello, hello. I'm probably not gonna be able to actually call out everybody in chat for the whole run, but while there's not much for me to focus on, I might as well. How's it going? Welcome back to your regularly scheduled really longathon Breath of Fire 2, except this time not the middle of the night. Thank you, Zell. My work alarm yesterday went off at 6 in the morning, and my work alarm tomorrow goes off at 8 in the morning, so being able to do this during daylight hours is really adding to my quality of life. Hey, Rubble! See you. Alright, so fair warning. The last time I ran this category was, I think, 2 years ago? Also for really longathon. I have not been running this category on my channel because I got this world record a couple of years ago. I've been working on getting other one. The Infinity Gauntlet must be completed. So I may or may not remember how to do this.
And practicing speedruns in advance of a marathon is for nerds.
That's not how we do things.
Yeah, we don't do that here.
The marathons are for de-rusting. Okay. Start. So in this first fight, you just have to drop to low health. Ordinarily, it takes 4 hits. The fight you just witnessed is very funny, because I got both a slam from myself, hitting myself in the face, and a slam from the beak, and yet somehow it still took 4 hits. Normally, 2 slams like that would save you some time, but today, it saved me nothing. Easiest fight in the game? No, I think somehow Shupke is still easier. I'm going to have Pax luck? Oh man, I hope not.
I hope so. That would be delightful.
We will explain Pax luck in more detail when we get to the relevant thing in about 20 minutes. For now, just understand that Pax is cursed.
Yes, that is true. I am cursed.
Also, hi, I'm Charles. This is Pax. We're brothers.
Hello.
I think that's all the context you need.
And that's all the context they're gonna get.
I feel like we have done this in Really Longathon enough times that at this point most people know who.
Yeah. We're a regular fixture around here.
I have not managed to be in every single Really Longathon. I've missed a couple, although I think... Oh, and it ate my input. That's fine. Minus 5 seconds. I think there was only one event that had neither me nor my TAS. The one I missed last year still had the TAS in it. So in that dialogue, I was supposed to say no rather than yes, and I evidently just did not hit right hard enough. My bad?
We're doing it for the lore.
Yeah, exactly. But for
Oh
those who are
yes,
not
and for
very
those
familiar with how this game goes, there are several dialogue prompts like that, where one of the options just straight up kills the run. And the run killing option is always the default option.
we like to call them text bosses around here.
It's just a little gift from the devs. They want to make sure you're paying attention. They wrote all of this beautiful dialogue. You're supposed to read it.
For those currently keeping score on the story, the Cliffs Notes version is that our mom is dead, our dad and sister have disappeared, and we're running away from home and find a demon.
And a dog.
And yeah, there's also a dog. He's not very important.
He really isn't. At least
Correction.
all of the other...
I'm sure...
Go ahead.
I'm sure he's technically supposed to be very important to the story of the game or something, but...
But that's the thing, he's not. Every other party member has a little plot segment. Bo does not interact with the game's plot in any way other than just showing up here.
And, you know, kicking off the entire first act of the game.
Yeah, but like he has no people. Every other party member comes from a place and has an existent relationship with at least one NPC in the game. Bo does not. Bo is an enigma. Bo merely exists. He is also trash.
Yeah.
What emulator am I playing this on? SNES 9X 1.6. I have used SNES 9X as my emulator of choice for eternity. I think Pax and I had a SNES 9X install.
25 years?
Yeah, about that. Yeah, I think it was not quite 25 years, but like 23 or 24 years ago, our cousin gave us a CD with a SNES 9X install on.
A CD-ROM containing SNES 9X and a bunch of ROMs for Super Nintendo games.
What place does Cat come from? Not a physical place that appears in the game world, but Cat is of the same people as Taiga.
The existence of Taiga proves that there are more people like Cat.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think there's an equivalent for Bo. Yeah, I used BizHawk for making the task. BizHawk's tasking tools are far superior to what SNES 9X has. But I am so used to running on SNES 9X that in theory, I could change over and do it all on BizHawk, but I see no reason. It cost me nothing to have 2 separate emulators installed. In fact, I have 3 separate emulators installed. I also have, oh man, I really remember to pick up. I feel like I might have been autopiloting a little bit too hard and doing the any percent route.
Nothing like an early reset to get the blood pumping.
Yeah. Oh, I did remember.
Dang, I was hoping for an early reset.
I do know what you're talking about, Ultima. Yeah, it's mildly annoying. That's all. I do have SNES installed, which no one should ever use. The one thing that is good about ZSNES is the save state interface is really convenient. So I have Breath of Fire 2 divided into about 95 save states for routing. So anytime I want to go back and like reroute something or practice a section or whatever, it is super convenient to access. But the actual emulation is pretty garbage, so don't do runs with ZSNES. Okay, so because the category we're playing is glitchless, I have not been able to break the laws of physics and summon infinite money out of the ether, which means we are very under-equipped. Which means we're probably going to die a few times.
We're doing this honorably, but not as honorably as we could be.
Yeah, that's a oh, that was a good dodge. This is the first dungeon, and things in here absolutely will just kill me. Oh, that is... Oh, why didn't you kill him? I almost never see Bo roll the 5. That's impressive. Hey, free antidote. That's pretty good. Alright, so level 2 helps. The fact that we're level 2, we are less likely to die now. Nice. Good job, Bo.
I mean, 1 health is all you really need.
Yeah, totally. That wasn't spooky at all. This fight sucks. Okay, getting the 20. Good, get it. Okay, we're alright. That was 2 things that could have gone badly and didn't. It's a damage roll to kill these things at level 2, and Bo's shot may or may not actually successfully kill the fighter.
So
Level
yes,
3.
for people who may not actually be aware of some of the ins and outs of this game, I don't know how that's possible after this many um, this many appearances in really long. But for those of you who might be watching this for the first time or don't remember much about this game from the last time it was streamed, each individual character has one or two kind of unique things that they can do. Everyone's got like a unique in-battle ability that they can do, with varying degrees of goodness. Bo has the ability Shot, which, if it hits, is a one-hit KO. It rarely hits.
On these enemies, it's fairly close to 50-50. So it could be worse. That said, it could also be better.
It could be significantly better.
Okay. Not kill my dog. Thank goodness. Okay, first boss. Let's see if I remember how to do this glitchless. In the any percent category, you get to actually come in here with armor and take way less damage from all that stuff.
Fighting the bosses with level appropriate equipment? Crazy.
See me? Yeah. Oh, okay. That's fine. Oh! Oh, please crit. Do some... That's... minimum damage. Good job, Bo. Okay. Oh, I need to hit a 12. Or crit. Oh, one time. Don't suck. God damn it, Bo. What are you for? Oh. You really hope to kill the first Harpy on turn 2 there, so that Ryu doesn't take as much turn. Oh, and then Ryu gets the counterattack. Okay. Fine. That's cool. And the dodge.
It's fine, everything's fine.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. The fact that Ryu dodged means I don't have to do this super weird defend turn here to keep... That's really fortunate. This is simultaneous and the unnecessary bonus crit. Thanks, Bo. This is somehow simultaneously a very lucky and a very unlucky RP fight.
Keep doing good work, Bo.
But compared to the kind of train wreck that early Glitchless can be, this is fine. Take this. So a little mechanics thing. You have a chance of any random encounter being a lead-off attack, which is just a delightful 90s translation of a surprise round. And if you attempt to run during a surprise round, it always works. And if you attempt to run any other time, it probably doesn't.
It almost never works. Yes, you'll see us fighting a lot of the random battles in this game, which is not something that you would normally do in an RPG speedrun. But we have to, because the run chance is garbage.
We also kind of need the experience and money anyway.
We do also need the experience.
If we somehow could guarantee all of these runaways, we would only have to stop and grind at some point later anyway. Cerberus, I assume that in most RPG systems, a critical hit with a bow just means, like, you got him in the eye or something. That is. Get me out of here. That is the worst fight we can see, so I'm very happy to not have to actually... Also, it's encounter rate. So lovely.
Great that they paired a very low run chance with a very high encounter rate.
That said, I'm getting lucky
Isn't
with
that
the
just...
lead-offs. This is nice. I'm getting a fight every 5 steps, but at least I'm getting lead-offs. So, you're going to hear the following phrase many times today, but due to a programming error, there is supposed to be a variable rate of random encounters. Or sorry, not random encounters, lead-off attacks. Your odds of getting a lead-off attack are supposed to be determined by your party's speed and or luck. I forget what the combination is, something like that. And then there's supposed to be an equipment that you can equip that boosts the variable rate, which would be between like 10 and 20%, boosted up to 25% flat. Except the check in the code that checks to see if you are wearing that piece of equipment as one of your accessories, due to a typo, instead checks to see if you are wearing empty as one of your accessories. In other words, the person in the first slot of the party just needs to have an empty accessory slot, and then you get the boosted lead-off chance. We currently have no accessories, so we just get that. And we're in fact going to make sure that the person in the first slot of the party always has an empty accessory slot anytime there are random encounters, precisely to maintain that boosted lead-off chance.
I feel like it's, at a certain point, we just need to start saying that this game exists due to a programming error.
Alfgar, good to see you. Oops, that was a mistake. Or rather, I failed to notice that Bo had hit level 6. Level 6 on Bo is significant because now he one-shots these. So there's actually no reason to attack with Ryu. Breath of Fire 2 is very interesting with respect specifically to bugs. Because on the one hand, from the player's perspective, it's a shockingly bug-free game for how old it is. There's the shopping glitch.
Everything appears very clean on a surface level.
Yeah, there's the shopping glitch. There's the text glitch with MC Tusk halfway through. Another lead off on the Legion. Amazing. And there's the boulder you can clip through in the Windia basement. That's kind of it. There's very little that the player will actually witness being glitchy. But there are dozens and dozens and dozens of things under the hood that do not work as intended. They still work, just not as intended. Q name bug? Unsure what you mean. Okay, so we got horrendous random encounter luck. We got way more fights than average, but also half of them were lead-offs, so we're kind of just on pace. That's pretty cool.
Things are going accidentally fine.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I'm not aware of anything that is called an earthquake in Breath of Fire 2. Alright. Bugs.
Speaking of speaking of bugs, here's some actual bugs.
Yep.
So this is a little bit of a little mini boss rush here. There's this fight against these small roaches, and then there's a fight against a bigger roach after that.
Tell us about the big roach, Max.
The big roach is my nemesis. So the big roach, his fun little boss mechanic is that when he dies, he has a 50% chance to just get back up and keep fighting, and you have to do a bunch more damage to him. And that 50% chance does not just happen once. It keeps happening. So every time you kill him, you flip a coin, and if you get tails, you have to keep fighting him. I tried to do a speedrun of this game. It was my very first attempt, and the roach got up 12 times. Burned through all of my healing items, completely screwed up my money route, and just basically ruined my run. Something that none of us had ever seen happen before. We had never seen roach kill a run, and I cannot believe you got first try.
Yep. Yeah, there is no get a mechanic here, Pax. So yeah, when we refer to the Pax luck, that's the lore.
Yeah, Pax luck is the fact that I seem to be the only one who gets truly abysmal luck on that fight.
To be fair, that is literally a 1 in... That 1 in 2048?
Oh yeah,
it is pretty unlikely.
It was a statistical marvel, to be sure, but it still happened to me.
1 in 256 is 8. 12. No, that would be 4,096. 1 in 4,096. Good job, Pax. You are a statistical anomaly.
Somehow I've always known.
Hey Elfgar, math degrees, high five. I'm defending my PhD in 2 weeks, and this is surely a good use of my time. Bo's about to die, but also, that's kind of fine. We don't really care.
Yeah. Oh, for those keeping score, lore-wise, we got sent on a mission to find a beloved pet. It was a pig.
Of course it's a pig.
The pet was a pig. The pet was a pig. We have saved the pig.
Ew. Let's now go into... Okay. Pax, I have a question for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, in this cutscene, we give Mina the pig back, and then for fulfilling the quest, we are paid $500.
Okay.
Do you think that's the money in the piggy bank? The lead up to that joke was not worth it.
No. Nope.
Where is Shogun? I feel like Shogun would have made that joke.
Yeah, he needed to be here for that.
Okay, and with this cutscene, we are now done with the dog. Not quite forever, but basically.
Pretty much forever. There's like one fight a bit later in the game where we need the dog.
Well, it's less that we need him and more that we're stuck with him.
He's forced upon us.
We would be fine without him.
Yeah.
One of the interesting quirks about how Breath of Fire 2 was designed is that healers are just kind of completely unnecessary and, in fact, quite bad. Healing items are plentiful, easily acquired, and actually just straight up better than healing magic.
Because items get priority in combat.
Nope, you are thinking of Breath of Fire 1. It's not because of priority in combat, it's just... Well, I guess it is kind of priority in combat. Like, the fact that you are item healing means that your fastest character can be the one doing it.
Yeah.
So, Cat...
That's probably what I'm thinking of, is that you're always healing with Cat, and therefore it's going first.
Cat is the game's best healer, despite having no magic at all.
Yeah.
But all the healing spells in the game have an item equivalent, and there are a couple items that do not have a spell equivalent. Like, there is no spell that is equivalent to the move up. And you can just acquire an arbitrarily large number of those healing items. Nothing is stopping you, so there's no real need to bring a heal. Which means that Bo, who is the game's premier healer, in fact the only dedicated healer in the game, kinda just sucks.
And then there's also just the fact that he's not in a significant portion of the early game, and then by the time you get him back in your party, you have better options.
Yep. Yeah, and he's
like
leveled.
If he was actually like on the squad for all of Act 1, there might be opportunities in which using him like would be beneficial, but he's not there, so it doesn't matter. And then by the time he's back on the squad, you have Rand, who is also a healer but also hits good.
I'm just in.
Bo in the trash where he belongs.
Cerberus uses Bo in his casual playthroughs. That's fine. The game is not so difficult that you need to optimize. I use Spar.
You can use Jean. Yeah. I also use Spar pretty exclusively in casual playthroughs, but like you can use Jean in a casual playthrough.
Or a household of Spar.
In fact, I think Jean was actually like low-key my favorite character when I was a kid.
That does sound familiar.
Yeah, well, because I liked frogs. So of course I liked Jean.
Sadly, Jean is only a pale imitation of the true frog, Glenn.
But yes, there is that is pretty much the same reason why I always used Frog in my Chrono Trigger parties, because I really liked frogs. I was a frog guy.
Speaking of which, a question for chat. Well, it's less a question, it's more like anyone else, or is it just me? But in RPGs where you get to name your party members, and the party members canonically have names that you use in the game, but that are different from their actual names in the plot of the story, do you give them their actual names? Like in Chrono Trigger, name Frog Glenn, since Glenn is actually his name. And in Final Fantasy VII, you name Red 13 Nanaki, which is his actual name. Is it just me, or do you guys also do that?
I know I do, but I also was in the same house as you, so
Yeah, fair.
it's possible that you influenced me.
Okay, Alfgar, I know that was just a typo, but I am now suddenly smitten with the idea of joke having a silent L in it. I think JOLK is now the canonical spelling of joke. I mean, it rhymes with folk, right? It makes sense.
Oh man, Cerberus is existing on another level when it comes to naming characters.
Yeah, that's even one step above naming him Baba.
Yeah.
Alright.
Here, take my name, Baba. But my name was
With
already
high
Baba.
probability, we are about to die.
Yes, welcome to the gauntlet.
Oh, there's one lead-off attack. Get me out of here.
So the problem that we currently have is we're trying to get from point A to point B. We only have one character in the party, and if we die, we lose half our money. That's not a good that's not a good combination because we need the money. So this particular run to the next town is a frequent reset zone.
Hey.
Had it the whole time.
Alright, nothing bad ever happens in Breath of Fire 2. Okay, I am going to have to check my money because I did not think to do it ahead of time. And poverty strats might be required. I have 7 now, so I don't need to. Shop. Okay, that's a little short. This way. Poverty strats twice. So when I say poverty strats, what I'm referring to is you can come in here, you can offer to donate money at the church, but because I am already dead broke, they give me 10 bucks instead. And I am just 20 bucks short of buying all the armor on. Quick little do this, and I have my money. Poverty strats. $3. Calculated.
Haha.
Yeah, I feel like we're giving chat a very unrealistic representation of what Glitchless is like.
Yeah. Normally, a lot of this results in resets. Things are just going pretty well so far.
Yep, you can just straight up die at level 1 in the mountain. You can die on the walk to Corsair. I have dodged both of those.
You normally don't get a first try roach with no get-ups.
Yep. Don't worry, it'll go off the rails sooner or later. I mean, we're about to do Tag Woods. This is actually probably the highest volume reset point in the game.
Yeah. Tag Woods is really, really, really deadly. And the problem with a lot of the deaths at this point in the game is that they aren't just a time loss to, resetting to the last save point or whatever. You get knocked back to the last place that you saved, but it's not like a full rewind of everything that you did.
You do not lose plot progress.
You don't lose plot progress. You go back to the save point, having lost half your money. Unfortunately, in Glitchless, we need our money. If it was any percent with the infinite money glitch, we wouldn't care. But we need the money. The money is important. So there are a lot of places where deaths are bad because we can't afford to lose the money.
In this case, I just spent all my money, so I presently can afford to die. It's just a time loss. But that's why you saw me take a safety save before walking to Corsair, because at that point I had $500 in my pocket. Actually, 800. The category hasn't been updated. Oh no! So, if I were really fighting for a world record pace, I would just be YOLO running from these things. Or I can just get the crit, that helps. That speeds things up pretty good. Because these things heal themselves, and the healing animation is kind of slow, this fight can wait. But also, failing the YOLO run can also waste a lot of time, so pick your point. Like this. Again, this is also a thing I'd YOLO run from, but it's probably on average less likely to kill me if I stay and fight. Okay, I'm safe. Whew.
Had it the whole time.
Yeah, the bugbears are one of the enemies that have a crit or miss mechanic. They can only crit you, which is fantastic. And it's, I think, roughly 50-50 for them to crit or miss. I have only 4 herbs left. Oh, that's not good. Frick.
Uh-oh.
It's gonna really suck if I got this far in and then I die. Well, 1 HP is all you need. Ah. Oh dear. Oh, that's bad. Okay, at this point, I just have to fight a healer. Well, that was cool. Love it. So in answer to your question, Felice, the game absolutely can just decide that I'm dead now. In fact, it just did. On the upside, at least it gives me an opportunity to buy some more. X. That's not. Back up her. Yeah, that is tragic. Dying 2 steps before the boss. On the upside, that means we're definitely no longer on world record pace.
And you get to enjoy our delightful presence for that much longer.
Now the run can suck as hard as it wants, it's going to cost me nothing. The funny thing is, this is the one place where even any percent is safe. All the healing items in the world are not going to prevent you from getting killed by bears.
Crazy. We defeat demons and gods and all kinds of other nonsense in this game, but the deadliest enemy is the bears.
Yep.
It's always the bears.
The good news is, once we're past this section, the ability of the game to just outright kill me goes way down. Oh, okay, just get the YOLO run. I guess that works. Softnum, good to see you. Yeah, what a plot twist. Who could have expected? Breath of Fire 2. Ah. Always bears. Ooh. Let's do it again. Hagwood's.
But it's so much fun. They're just delightful bears.
So this is kind of simultaneously nice and not nice about this run. Like, yes, it is frustrating having to do this section like this, but like, if you fail, it only costs you a couple minutes to come and try again, and you can just slam your face against the wall until it works. It's not like you die once and then the run is over, or you lose an hour or that. So as far as running Breath of Fire 2 in a marathon, this is basically not an issue. Like, it's an 8-hour run. If we spend 10 minutes resetting in Tagwoods, fine. It's still an 8-hour run. No problem.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if you're trying to grind for a world record time, you basically have to get this first try. So it's fine in marathons, but sucks to try and world record with. Because a lot of your runs just get 45 minutes in and then you reset.
Which officially makes Breath of Fire 2 the greatest marathon game, and I will accept no questions or criticism on that remark.
Speaking of things dying during runs, Rubble, have you got a proper wired controller yet?
That was tragic.
I really hope that I judged correctly that Rubble and I are buds enough that I can teach him about that now and not offend him. Alright, the boss fight that we were supposed to start 9 minutes ago. It's
Whoops.
the stupid lumberjack.
With a weird name. I think that's lethal. Alright, then we just got a super clean Baba fight. That's cool. Makes up for the, 3 deaths.
No, it does not. In fact, my timer says plus 9 minutes and 7 seconds. Nothing is made up for. Alright, please breathe fire on me. You know what? Close enough. That's
So here you're seeing one of the benefits to not losing plot progress when you die, is that you can just you can take tactical deaths to teleport places you want to go instead of having to walk there.
Okay, so even though we did just lose half our money, we still have the other half of our money. So I'm going to stock up on a few. Windbliss, hello, yes, Glitchless Boff 2. Because I wanted more suffering than any percent, but less suffering than Brave Man. I've done my one contractually obligated Brave Man run for this year.
Could have done 100%.
Oh god, don't even get me started on Hondo. I still need to finish routing that thing.
You need to get started on 100%.
Do I, though? Do I really?
Yes.
I don't think so.
You do. No, I think
that
you do.
sounds fake. Education, hobby, talent, let's go. This is the Director of Human Resources.
It's a job interview.
Yep.
We're having a job interview.
I love this game so much.
Yeah.
There are so
It
many
really
weird
has.
things that just pass unremarked on.
That's the thing, is it does it's the right kind of of humor where it doesn't hang a lampshade on its humor. It just presents you with things that are funny and then moves on.
Okay, so I'm doing the safety strat with Cat. Costs about 30 seconds, but given how our Tagwoods went, I think a 30-second safety is acceptable.
And after that very humorous job interview with a muscle man, we've now been recruited by the owner of the arena to commit a murder in the arena, to like straight up kill someone so that he'll make a lot of money. He's a bad guy, in case you were wondering.
Sorry, the phrase bad guy just always makes me think of Wreck-It Ralph. You are a bad guy, but you are not bad guy.
Thanks, Satan. I've only seen that movie like once.
Same.
But I know that bit.
I think everybody knows that bit. Yeah, you will catch me ragging on the translation a lot because it is bad, but it is at least functional. You can still understand what is going on. That said, there is a fan retranslation that is a significant in small places. I recommend.
Yeah, really, I would just say that the translation of this game is clunky.
Yeah.
But it's not bad. I have definitely seen far worse offenders in Super Nintendo era RPGs.
This is true. Alright, we are fighting a cat girl, and she is gonna beat the hell out of us.
Hopefully not too badly. You can die to this fight, but it'll be fine.
Oh dear.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's... Okay, we're fine. Chip has correctly identified what I think is the single best line in the game. Aw, not again. Not like this! Oh no. Dodge? Cool. Okay, how's our herb supply looking?
I believe the actual line is, "I don't want to die in front of you guys," and yes, it always that line of dialogue always stabs me directly in the heart.
Well, that's why we
In
did
other
the
news-
safety.
In other news, we died in front of you guys.
The best part is you get to watch this cutscene all over again.
Yeah, Baba is a weird name.
If we die one more time, I'm actually gonna have to do something about my lack of herbs.
Yeah. So interesting that sometimes when you die and go back to a boss fight, you have to like rewatch cutscenes or big dialogue segments, and then other times you just kind of like walk back in and they have like a truncated like set of dialogue for like the second try.
Alright, take two. Fantastic.
You guys are really getting the true glitchless experience.
Cool way to waste time. 3 successful taunts in a row. Not deface! Oh god, that was the face.
Look, we're doing it for charity.
Yeah. Oh, okay, it's fine. Nothing
We're
bad ever happens
throwing
in Breath
for
of Fire 2.
We're throwing for charity.
That was a really fortunate counterattack. Okay. 13 minutes behind pace. All good.
Fine.
But the suffering is mostly over. Okay.
For now.
So, there was that treasure chest beside the door that I wasn't opening. because if you open it and then you lose the fight, you lose half the money, and you kind of need the money. Now I get to come back in, get the money, go back out, do the shopping, come back in again. I love that the money you get from the cat fight and the box is exactly enough to buy the 4 you need. To the dollar.
All planned.
Yep, it's almost like I ratted this or something. Start at bringing the violence.
Oh lord, it's a demon.
So good. Very well. Okay, we just get the task fight, I guess. That's fine. Oh, goodbye, cat.
Alright.
Suboptimal. I mean, we win,
Not
but
quite cast right.
we did win. That's not quite how we drew it up.
We won, but at what cost?
Well, the cost was, I think, like 200 experience on you. However much it is. Not like Ryu's level.
So, for those keeping score, it may look like we're just kind of screwing around and stealing people's names and fighting in gladiatorial arenas. We did actually come here for a reason. We're supposed to be finding the female thief who inadvertently framed Bo for a robbery, even though he was actually committing the robbery. It's a whole thing. We're supposed to be finding that thief, and it turns out that Cat is not that thief, but Cat and Rand don't have anything better to do, so they're going to come with us. And we're going to just continue looking for this person. Spoiler alert, the next person that we find who we think might be the thief is also not the thief.
Also, Rand is a transportation system.
Yes, one of his funky abilities is out of combat, you can roll and go fast. But if you run into something, there's a... What's the percentage
50-50.
on the battle? It's a 50-50. They like their 50-50s in this game. If you run into stuff, there's a 50-50 chance that you'll get a random encounter. But it's usually always faster to roll.
And bonking is the only way to stop. Once you have engaged rolling, you must bonk.
Yeah, you have to run into something, so you may get one fight. Or if you're like me and just generally bad at rolling, you might get many fights.
Also, Rand is about to leave.
Yes.
Why I'm stealing armor.
This game does kind of like to tease you with, here's a new party member, then they immediately leave your party for a little bit.
But not Cat. We get to keep Cat.
Yeah, we keep Cat almost forever, with one minor exception. We get Rand back in a while. Very unceremoniously, he just becomes available again. They don't even tell you.
But we do have Cat in the party now, which that our odds of dying go drastically down.
Yes, we can now hit real good. Instead of just hitting pretty good. And Cat is also pretty much the fastest character in the game, and so is a very good vehicle for healing items.
And violence.
And violence. And also brings up the average party speed when it comes to getting that run chance.
You can tell that she's a future party member because she has a cool sprite. That rule of thumb really is shockingly consistent. If they look cool, they're probably joining the party.
And yet they deny us Trubo.
And Nimafu.
And Nimafu. I feel like we have a less active chat than when we have the overnight time slots.
Well, it is the middle of the workday.
Right. Yes.
Probably there will be some people showing up at 5 o'clock.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, you forget that other people are employed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, I officially got my job offer yesterday.
Sweet, congratulations.
I now have a summer course to be teaching. I will be teaching second-year calculus to a room full of like 300 engineers.
Nerd.
Respective engineers. So the reason you see me duck into those hunting locations and then immediately leave again is because the screen transition resets the random encounter counter. So you get further. Like here, I was able to walk all the way from hometown to here with only a single fight because of that. Optimization!
Chatting from work, attaboy, Rebel.
As is tradition. Hey, if all my students are going to be on their phones during class, why not me? That seems only fair.
Professor Charles, do you think maybe you could teach us something instead of speed running in the middle of our lecture?
Thanks, Chip. That's it. Okay, and now we pray for mercy. Though we know the game has it. Please let me get the silver dagger before anything bad happens. Aaron, that was a top shelf pun. Well done. I appreciate it. Whew. Okay, safety. Thank goodness.
So the problem in here is that there is a particular enemy that is susceptible to the holy damage on the silver dagger and takes very little damage from anything else.
Yep.
And it slows things way down.
Well, as a bonus, the spirit type enemy, which spirit type is the one that is weak to holy and resists everything else. That enemy also has the power down spell. So you aren't just doing half damage, you're doing half damage further reduced by having your base attack power dropped. It sucks. You are killing that thing single-digit damage at a time.
Yeah, it is a brutally slow fight.
Stairs, we're almost there. Safety! Oh god, almost. And this is the spooky fight, but because I have the silver dagger, I can kill them.
It's spooky because they're ghosts, but not spooky for other reasons anymore.
$26 whole damage. Look at those huge damage numbers. Alright. We're there, we're free. For some reason, only the basement has random encounters up here. I'm not complaining. I'm really glad there aren't any. That is definitely an improvement over the other possibility. Paint scroll, glad you could make it. Sorry that you missed the first hour. It only just occurred to me now that I never posted in your Discord. So I quickly, while we were auto-battling in a fight, I pulled out my phone.
So the upcoming fight here is interesting because it's either the easiest fight in the entire game or it's the hardest fight in the entire game, dependent entirely on whether you picked up a particular item and kept it an hour ago.
Yep. Hold. Bandits. And the bandit back scratcher. That fight sucks so much if you do not have the Fire Rock. Just fighting four of them, it would be bad enough, except at the end of every round, I think it's a 70% chance that they just summon another one. It's the worst.
So they're constantly reinforcing themselves. It's terrible. And it commits the cardinal sin of a speedrun in that it's very slow. Even if you are able to just do the fight, it's painfully slow.
Hey, good crit. Good job. So welcome to Nina. We have Bird Girl. Bird Girl has the good damage. Conveniently, this guy is weak to ice. Therefore, we are dropping ice on him. Now, it just occurred to me he can probably high roll Cat for 28. I probably should have healed her. Sure, it'll be fine.
Nah, we're doing it live.
It's fine. But I am healed. Oh, I'm not gonna risk it a second time. The audio desynced with the game? I suppose it's possible. If it is not on my end. I think if the audio is desynced, the solution would just be Zell giving the Restream PC the Han Solo repair fist. Alright, boss fight. Hey, we actually saved time on that split, and now we're only 13 minutes behind.
Whee!
Okay. Yeah, an audio desync is a minor annoyance, but at the end of the day, big deal. Tech issues happen. Surely 30 HP is... I have exactly one heal. As we died to Cat the first time, I am a couple hertz short of where I would... Surely nothing bad will happen.
I'm sure it'll be totally fine.
If the desync is really bad, I'm certainly not going to be offended if you just hit reset. People will miss a couple minutes of my run, but whatever. Nothing they haven't seen before. And the power down. Fantastic.
Whee!
That inventory looks so bare, Rubble. Rubble, you should run more Glitchless. It's a fun category. And you still have to do your GBA run back.